All right, hey y'all, welcome to another episode of In Real Life. And today I have my girl Kyrah. She's so cute. This is my dance sister, y'all. So I have like regular family and I have dance family. And a lot of my dance family kind of become our regular family, just depending on like how our relationships go. So I feel like Kyrah is moving in that lane to be just like one of my sisters for real, for real. But y'all know I always start out with how I met people. So the funny thing about it is she kind of just ended up at Wayne State. I met her at Wayne State and she kind of just ended up there. And she went to Marygrove. And y'all know Marygrove closed down. And we didn't like Marygrove. So they were like our rivals. And I don't understand where this came from. But they were our rivals and Marygrove shut down unexpectedly, just out the blue. And so a lot of students came to Wayne to finish out. And we was just looking around. I know I was looking. I'm gonna speak for myself. But I know I was sitting next to Imani. Y'all know Imani. And I was looking like, who is that? Who is these people thinking they coming up in our school? Like, so yeah, I was definitely checking them out. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, no new friends. We keeping it cute. And I felt away because I had been working my butt off to make it to ballet 3, and she just came up in this mug and went to ballet 4, and I was just like, so then I saw her in class and I was like, okay, now I understand why she in ballet 4. Leg was like up here. I'm like, y'all know how I feel about people who legs go up there, because I'm like, God, why you ain't making my hips like that? Like, I don't understand. But I don't remember how like the initial moment when we met, but I do remember a specific moment where we had a rep together, and Lisa, shout out to Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
She told us to pair up with somebody who was similar in height and weight. And I was like, this is finna be impossible because I'm not similar in weight with nobody. And then I saw her and I was like, we not the same height. I'm a little bit taller than Kyrah, but Kyrah's like a cute, petite, like, I love it. I'm like tall and like petite, taller, but Kyrah's like a cute, kind of short. Would you consider yourself short?
Yeah, I
How
can't
tall
even
are
lie
you?
for 5'2".
Oh, yeah, she's short. I'm so she was cute. I was just looking at her like, I'm not finna dance with her. Why she gotta be my partner? But then she ended up being cool. So that's kind of like how we became cool from that rep, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And we had a class
honestly.
together. We had hard anatomy. Oh my god, that class was so hard.
Yeah, we had Kanice, but like we didn't sit next to each other in that
We did
class.
sit next to
So
each other in Kanice, but we did do work together in Kanice. Like, we had to make it out, y'all. Listen, Kyra graduated this year. Shout out to her, because I don't know how she graduated
I don't
in the pandemic. I would have dropped out. All of that great stuff. So today, as you see below, we are going to talk about the dance industry, y'all.
either.
It's an industry. It really is an industry. It's like the entertainment industry. It's a part of the entertainment industry, and a lot of people think like once you become a dancer. I'm gonna shortly say that when I wanted to dance, I wanted to be like either a rocket or be in like New York City Ballet or something. That was like my first like. I think the first show I saw was the Rockets, and I was like, I want to do that. So that helps me ask you, why did you start dancing? Like, what prompted you to start dancing?
So technically, my mom was like, "We gonna do this," because I'm like a third generation dancer. So she danced, my big sister
Wow.
danced, and my mom's mom danced. Like I never got to meet her, but my mom's mom, so my grandma, she basically instilled art in us. Like my mom, she's the best artist, a dancer, a baking artist. She doesn't draw though, so like that's what she like. We all like in drawing, except for my grandma. But um, I was 3, and my mom's friend, we were at the studio, and my mom's friend was on Sesame Street Live. And we went to Sesame Street Live. I was like 3 years old, and I was like, oh my God, I want to be on stage. And then like the following year, my mom was like, okay, yeah, let's just do it. Let's enroll her in classes. And it kind of stuck. But after a while, I was like tired of it.
Man, what?
Around like 9 or 10, like who am I to make a decision at 9 or 10 years old to be like, yeah, I'm done dancing?
Mm.
Then I regretted it. and picked back up in, so was I was like 10. I didn't pick back up really until high school, and that wasn't technical dancing. That was just Pomerette at school in the band after school activities. So I was like, yes, I'm having fun, but I need to get back to like technical training.
Mhm.
So I didn't start that. I took like an 8 year gap of technical training, which is crazy
I did
because
not know that
yeah,
you
it don't seem like it. Everybody that I tell that, they're like, what? And
you
I'm like,
went you
yeah,
went okay, so 9 or 10, you bought in the fourth grade. You didn't do it for 1 year of elementary school. You skipped.
middle school,
You
skip
skipped
middle
middle
school.
school, and you. When did you start doing the like other dancing?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade. Okay.
And
Oh,
yeah, I like tried to go back to the studio ninth grade,
yeah.
but the ballet teacher that I had at the time was Russian, and I hadn't danced in a really long time, so she was like trying to force a turn out, and I ended up spraining or like fracturing my ankle because it was bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. This is not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I would have never guessed that. Kyrah be dancing, y'all. So
Check me out.
so you started dancing at 3.
Yes.
Why? Okay, so once you got into dancing, you took a break. I actually took a break too. Um, oh
And
seven,
right, you gotta think about it.
07, 08, somewhere in middle school. And I started back when I went to Renaissance. So
Mhm.
that was like when I was 14, 15. I started
Yeah.
training with Gina Ellis. So that was when I was like, okay, I want to get back to dance because I really did miss it. But high school, dancing in high school was like up and down. Like it was at one
Yeah.
minute I wanted to do it, and then the next it was like,
You're
okay,
still
that's
trying
a
to figure
whole
it out.
story that I'm gonna have to tell you the other day. But like, yeah, so that's crazy. I'm still stuck at the pole. Okay, so you in high school, you say you want to dance again. So you didn't start technically training until college.
Yep, 18. And I got my butt whooped. Like, oh my God. When I went for my audition, literally all I remember
Like,
all I remember was a plie and a tendu. So when it got like past that, I'm literally like, what do I do next? So I'm looking around. Kendall, shout out to Kendall, because we were at the bar together, and that was my first friend in college. So
mhm.
we were struggling at the bar together, but we ended up making it out. And from there, it's just been an upward spiral.
That oh girl, it's so funny. You gotta talk to Imani because she talks about her audition at Wayne, and I think y'all just same. Like she was like, girl, I didn't know what was going on.
At all. I was like, across the floor, I
Surprised
can
I
get.
made it in. Okay. But the thing about Wayne is it's a lot of people who come in. I don't know if this was the same with you. Well, at Marigold, it was a lot of people who came into Wayne with like little to none to no technical training. Like I think out of me, Imani Design, Naya, I was the only one who had like consistent technical training. So I'm thinking everybody who get into the program, like y'all didn't been at the studio
Yeah.
like me. I didn't compete, but I was in the studio. And they like, nah, I mean, I did it sometimes. Like we did it during lunchtime, or like I ain't never had training, or I barely know what like a sachet is. Like I'm just like, what? What? I'm
Yeah.
the only one in here. So yeah. Okay. So before college and maybe during college, what was your dream path as a
Hmm.
dancer? Like, did you figure out before you graduated high school, you knew that you wanted to be a dance major, or it kind of just happened?
I knew I wanted to be a dance major.
Okay.
Literally nothing else. Like nothing else came to mind except be a dance major.
Okay.
What drove me to say that, I do not know to this day, but I'm trying to figure it out. So hopefully something good come out of this education and training that I've been doing. I've had like thoughts of wanting to have a minor, just never got around to it because transfer and like you don't want to after a certain point anymore. So I was like, forget
Hang
it.
it
We just gonna
out.
go. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't about to drive myself even more crazy after like transferring because I was already driving myself crazy.
So you didn't have like, okay, this is what I want to do with dance after I get out of college.
No, I didn't. And I still don't. Like, not until recently. Like, I thought when I first started college, I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but where is it going to take me?
Mm,
And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to just get what I want. Like, everybody else in my class pretty much had an idea as a freshman. And I'm like, I'm just here because I missed it and not because I just came from a studio a year ago.
mhm,
Everybody else almost came from a studio
mhm.
starting college. And yeah, no, I never really had an idea.
That is crazy. So you just, cause like some people, it's a lot of people from Wayne that like knew that they wanted to be in a company, and then we have like a lot of freelance dancers, and then we have people who want to do industry dance.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it's, we got a lot of different things going on, but it's a
Yeah.
few people who successfully, like Kelsey, I don't know if she's still at Eisenhower, but like she
Hmm.
dancing for them. So that's, I'm learning stuff, y'all, because I ain't know. I thought I knew. How did going to school for dance affect your passion for it, and do you think that you should have still went to school for it?
Okay. So it affected definitely my passion in a lot of different ways, like ups and downs at different times of my 5 year career span of college. Um, when I first started college, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing that I've ever like took on in my life. I
Mm-hmm.
was learning stuff so quickly, like I was getting recognition from my teachers. Not to say that, I have to have that recognition, but it's nice to have that recognition when you're working hard. So I was getting like feedback, very positive feedback, and I'm like, well, how can I apply this to be like better the next time? And honestly, to this day, I still don't know how it applies, but I get so many praises for it, and I'm like, I literally just show up,
Mm-hmm.
do the number, and peace out. So I don't know. I guess it's just like a factor that I'm missing that somebody else is seeing in me, but
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Um, it affected it a lot though. Like later down the line, trying to choreograph, it just wasn't a thing for me. I've never been in the creative space to like pull something from the heartstrings. I just always felt like creating something would be for movement and like I would force a meaning behind something, but it just never worked. So I was like, let me not force it. And I'm still like, let me not force it. Let's just do what's on your brain at the day, at the time of day, and go from there. But it's just hard. So creativity is definitely like down for me, and
Um,
it has been down for me.
you feel like, because you have two types of dancers. You have the dancer who can execute well, like dance they soft, and then you got the dancer who is very creative as far as like choreography.
Yeah,
They can see the vision and put it on somebody, and they may well be able to execute it well as well, but like for the most part they like other people to see their work. So which one do you feel like you're more of?
neither.
Neither. What?
Like
Girl,
neither.
shut up.
I like personally myself. I like doing other people's work. Like I like making other people's visions come to life. Um, Me myself, it's just I never know what I want to do. Like my capstone, I still think to this day that I threw it together. Like I don't think it was a clear meaning behind it, which could have been a little bit more like out there. But
But also, let's be real, because y'all know
yeah,
I keep it real. Wayne State be reaching for me.
yeah,
Okay, they be reaching for the deep of the deep of the deep, and it's like
the
everything
deeper the
don't have
deep.
to be super deep. Okay,
So
like
and that's yeah, and that's one thing.
what if I just want to dance? Like
Yeah,
y'all don't understand. We would have some classes where, and I don't mind this. I don't mind putting like my thoughts out into the atmosphere to get like a clear vision. But sometimes it would just be, they would be milking it, and I'm like, okay, everything don't have to be
this deep.
way in the water. Like we don't have to do all this. We ain't got to do all of this. Sometimes you just want to dance. Sometimes that's it. Sometimes It's just the beat that move you. And that's why I wanted to do that piece. I really wish I could have been able to. That piece,
Mhm.
all the black people in the department, because it was just like a feel good. Like I had the vision, but getting like 10 plus people together,
Uh,
schedules in
what,
order,
especially our folks, it's hard.
it's hard.
Black people, it's hard to get scheduled together. Okay.
It's hard, especially if you ain't paying them either. It's
Yeah,
extra hard. So do you regret going to school, or you think you made the right decision going to school for dance?
I think I did make a good decision going because yes, you can be great without a dance degree, but having the knowledge of like anatomically how your body works and moves makes all the difference in how you teach children, how you teach other peers. Like, even though your other peers probably know what you're learning as well, but especially for me teaching kids, I'm like, yeah, this type of movement comes from X, Y, and Z, and you need to not do X, Y, and Z in order to prevent injuries. So, for that aspect, yes, you can't teach people how to like dance or like flow. That's everybody's own creative body. That's how they interpret their own movement. But overall, yeah,
Okay, that's good
not
to
the
know.
debt
'Cause I
part, but
think that. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. So, Kyrah said that she still don't know what she want to do with the industry. She said she still don't know. She been out of school. It's almost going on a year, sir. It's coming.
don't play me. I got like 6 months, 5, 6 months until I know it's a year.
I'm going on 3 years. That
Yeah,
nuts. Where did the time go? So we were talking about this when I was back in Detroit. Um, me, her, and Imani, and the whole dance industry shifting. So the thing is, like, people always say that life, the world just goes in waves and flows. Like, it's certain trends that happen with clothes, it's certain trends that happen with makeup. There are certain trends that happen with the dance industry too. And from as far back as I can remember when I started paying attention, it was everybody wants to be a contemporary dancer at one point. You remember that?
yeah,
So you think put dance, it's pros and cons to that show, which I feel like people who aren't dancers and are artistic in that manner think that all dancers dance like that,
yeah.
and legs just be, we not all built like that. All don't know how to do tricks. Um, we all don't have banana feet. Like, it's just not
Yeah, it
really.
just not. Mm-mm, I
But
don't.
a lot of us did like contemporary dance, and they put contemporary dances like it was mainstream at that point. The reaching, but
I'm reaching.
like I
Thing.
remember I remember that, and then it went from that to hip hop, and hip hop got really big around like the time I graduated high school. Yeah, 2012, 2013 area, and then it went to heels. Now we're in the heels era. I
Yeah,
feel like, was this something in between hip hop and heels? I feel like maybe not.
I
It
didn't
was
pay
a
that much
jazz funk era
attention.
too. It was a
I
jazz.
was like, I didn't pay that much attention to like the different eras, but I definitely knew like so you think put contemporary on the board because I'm like, yeah, one day I'm gonna be on that show. I mean, I still might want to go, but I don't right now. Rona is no audition, so
Did you know that I auditioned for So You Think?
I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, I did. Like 2014, 2015,
Girl, that's when I graduated high school, so no, I didn't know that.
maybe 2016. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I had told you that, but yeah, that was. If we have time at the end, I'll tell y'all that story.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, so you are out of school now, trying to figure out what you want to do with dance. When they graduated, because it's a few more of my friends from that her class, I I sent them a voicemail and let them know that like it's okay if you want to take a break. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do. It's okay. Like, figure out what you want to do, because artist artistically it's okay to do that. Like, you have to find like your niche and where you're comfortable at, and that's the beauty about being an artist. Like, you don't just have to go from like, it's not like you being an engineer where you're like, okay, well, I find a job and like this is what I'm doing, and
Mhm.
like you have that freedom to creatively move in the direction that you want to move in. Because some people go to school for dance and they want to teach, and that's it, and that's perfectly fine. I wasn't one of those people. I do like teaching, but I just didn't want to be an educator, and that
Yeah.
was for kids or even on the college level. I've thought about college level, but you got to go back to school for that. Yeah, it's a no. So who doing that? But
Really? No, I'm
I've
kidding.
seen, if you follow Kyrah on the gram, she has been doing her thing, and she is more like getting into heels. Now, do you feel like you've been forced to go that route because that's kind of like how people are getting paid right now?
No, actually, I don't feel forced. Actually, I feel like scared almost because why is it so many people? Um, okay, maybe this does make sense now that I'm thinking about why. Um, I went to a concert in
Mhm,
like the fifth grade,
mhm,
and first ever Chris Brown concert, my dad took me, and I was like, you know what? Dancing behind an artist actually don't seem that bad.
mhm,
So it actually stemmed from them, but it wasn't heels back then. It was like hip hop and whatever else. But I don't recall seeing heels at that age.
mhm.
But my dream is always like be on stage with a big artist, like be a backup dancer. So that's probably what stemmed me to go back to college.
Wow.
Um, but now, no, because I was so in like the modern and the ballet, and don't get me wrong, like all of those are very fundamental. But that's all that was offered in college for a really long time. Yeah, I had a semester here and there of tap, had a semester here and there of jazz, but it wasn't consistent enough for me to be like, yeah, I'll be able to go and do this, this, and this. And I didn't compete all however many years of, grade school to be like, yeah, I can go and be an assistant to these big choreographers like Travis Wall or Mark Meisner because I haven't grown up in the competitive world. So that I feel like that's out of the question for me. I don't know. It could be a possibility still, but I don't feel forced to do heels. I remember my second year at Wayne, Brandon's piece, Della came to that show.
Mhm,
Didn't know who she was at first
mhm.
until she came to Michigan and did that concert with Chris. And I was like, can I like somehow get connected? I just want a little bit more information on how or what's the ins and outs of how you get there. And she was like, well, yeah, I'm coming back to teach a class. You should come, and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, cool. Went to that class, and I was like, this is literally what I've been missing because
Mhm.
me, I never took point. So I know that I would never be a successful ballet dancer. Yeah, no, I've never taken point
Like,
ever in my life.
oh, you never took point.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out these people who just be killing it and like wait, I'm not beside myself. It's a lot of dancers. I feel like it's a lot of dancers that dance better than me, and Kyrah is one of them. And she don't like you never took point, but I
No.
take a point. A lot of my friends have never taken point. That was like my like when I tell you I want to be a ballerina in a company. That was like the thing, but I quit, and that those years, shoot, even a month of
Hmm.
like not dancing will set you back. Like you, if you want to be a ballerina, you in there from like 3 to 18, and you should be
Yes.
in a school of ballet. Like it takes up your life. So by the time I figured out like that's what I was supposed to be doing, it was the oh, I was like, oh no, ballet company, what? And your life is devoted 24/7 to that. And I knew that
Yeah.
like I love ballet, but I knew that I wanted to do other stuff and like
Exactly.
have a family. Like that's what I want to do. That's why Ingrid, I'm like so happy for her because she's like pregnant, and it's very rare that ballerinas have families. Like
Yeah.
she pregnant, living her life with the
It's
bra
so
on
brutal.
point.
Like,
Yeah, it's brutal on your body and all of that. But yeah, so you never took point. I am
I
shocked.
never
Stuck
took
as
point.
ball at this point. Do you
Jaw
regret
should
it?
probably be on the floor.
Do you
Huh?
something that you wanted to do where it was just like, ah, it is what it is?
I mean, okay. So I think I was actually supposed to take point. It was a requirement at Marygrove,
Mhm.
and I was going to do that junior year because that was on my schedule.
It was a
I moved to Wayne State. Yeah, like a semester at least.
oh, they barely
I moved to Wayne State, and it was optional. I said, "Oh, I'm not about to pay an extra credit for that." So no, and that would have been my first semester. Like you can never start too late, but I was like, the way my ankles are, I already know it probably won't get any better. So I'm just
Mhm.
gonna stick to flat foot ballet and call it a day. But
What?
yeah, no.
So you don't feel forced? That I feel like. So do you feel forced in the aspect of like being like heels is what's in right now? Because I know like background dancers, you could do hip hop, you could do. It just depends on the artist, really. Because
Yeah.
y'all notice ballet was kind of popping up in hip hop. Like y'all see, I be paying attention. The award shows and stuff before the Rona came. Trey Songz had somebody's daughter do some. I was mad she was white though. Like, why could we get a black ballerina? But that's beside the point. The thing is that Aunt Nikki, she had like a ballerina in one of hers. Kanye,
Okay, but Lizzo put us on. Okay, Lizzo put us on.
Lizzo did. Shout out to Lizzo. The
Shout
thing
out to
was,
Lizzo.
I was gonna audition for that, but she wanted like bigger girls, so I was like,
Big
you know
girls, yeah.
what? We just don't. We just gonna stay in our
I was
lane.
like, I could have been on stage, but
Could have been on
here I
stage.
am.
But yeah, like Kanye, I mean, he had mostly white ballerinas, but when he did what was it, Runaway? With My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like ballet was starting to come in mainstream and not just like
Mhm.
seeing it in concert and seeing it with the company specifically. Misty Copeland like being breaking out and being was she the first black soloist for the
Mhm.
the New York company. So like just all of those things and that coming out, like you don't necessarily have to do that. But like what if you don't feel like, because I feel like Kyrah is more so she likes to groove through contemporary dance sometimes. I've seen her dance with her, and you can tell she be living her life. Do you feel like you kind of was forced in that manner because of like industry dance and commercial dance is more so making money than like the latter, or you just feel like, hey, I just want to dance with an artist, that's kind of like my main goal, that's kind of like where I'm going right now.
Yeah, I want to just be fulfilled at this point. Like,
uh
yes, I do want to honestly work with artists. I don't care who it is at this point.
mhm,
Um, Obviously, people that I follow and people that I know musically.
mhm,
Uh, but different artists require different things. Now, heels, uh, I've been told that heels is not a specific genre. It's just like
who said
I
that?
don't know. Like I don't know how to explain that heels is not a genre when it definitely is. So I'm like, I don't.
There's technique that goes into heels.
It's technique that goes in
Everybody
heels. You
can't
can't
do
have wobbly heels. You can't have wobbly ankles.
just like how everybody can walk in heels, everybody cannot, like going from walking to
That
dancing,
part.
a whole nother world. We over here
That part. And
like
I've seen it. Like seen it. It's scary.
heels. It's dancers who can dance their butt off in heels, but they gotta work a little bit harder in ballet. Like everything is a technique.
Yep. Yep.
So, and when I started taking, I haven't been taking heels consistently, but when I started, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do this and take classes when I feel like it. Like we really be doing like
It's
exercises for
hard.
our ankles, and like you have to have a strong core. In dance in general, you gotta have a strong core, but like you really gotta be on it if you don't want to be on your face.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
Yep.
y'all be looking and thinking, oh, they so smooth. That's technique. So whoever said that, I don't know, but shout out to the
I
people.
feel like shout out to the people. um, I feel like kind of heels are forced though because it brings like the sexual
Mhm.
feel to it and the confidence boost to it depending on the choreography aspect of the heels. Um, so with that regard, it's like pick which apron you want to fall up under in that heels category. And for me, it's just trying to find what works best for my body. Like I feel almost good doing everything that has been said on me. I feel like I like the slower, not like sexy raunchy, but like the confidence, like, oh yeah, I know that I am cute and I feel good when I do this, or I can hit like a hard hip hop, but like it just depends. Like
Oh,
that's what
I feel
people
like
want.
I look like Goofy from
I feel
Mickey
goofy.
Mouse Clubhouse when I do hip hop.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I feel goofy doing it.
in my head, I have a whole video, and I think I'm gonna post it on my story because I'm scared to post it on the page.
Girl, I have this hip hop video, so
I
scared.
took a hip hop class a while ago, and I saw that footage, and I was like, I look
Yikes.
crazy, like I look crazy. And I took a class in New York a couple of years ago, like a contempt class, and she was like, "You're just so like you have to be more aware. You're really graceful," and I'm like, that really comes from ballet, like so much
Yeah.
ballet training, and like it's okay to be graceful, but like you got to know when to hit stuff, and I had to work on that and like be intentional with my movement instead of just being like in the air.
It's just
Like
hard. It's
it's
really hard to
hard
flip
when you've been
switch.
trained mostly like that's what I was in point around 11 12 years old, and then like I was in point company at my
Mhm.
studio for like a couple of years after that, on top of taking ballet, on top of taking like I had the tap, the jazz, all of that at the studio. So but ballet was my thing. Like I was a prima and that's what I was doing. So after doing that for so long, it's like, okay, when you start getting even modern was new to me in high school. Like Horton, what? No
Or
shoes.
Dunham,
We don't wear
flat
shoes.
bags, flat. We don't wear shoes.
That took me out. I was like, and people who know me for real know I don't like feet. So I was like, why we ain't got no shoes? Like, what is really going on? It was a lot. But my last question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh my god. Hopefully not in Michigan. Um,
Bye.
hopefully fulfilled. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, it's scary. Like it can go in so many different directions. When I graduated, I was talking to Biba, talking to Meg, and they were like, "So what do you want to do?" And I'm like, honestly, I am having the hardest time picking if I want to go concert route and be in like I never wanted to be tied down to a company because that's just I at this point I just don't like commitments on that type of level when it deals with that certain type of thing because no. But I was like, I don't know if I want to go concert or commercial. And people was like, that's actually really good. Like that's a good situation to be stuck in because that means you're versatile and you can do whatever you want to. And I'm like, you know what, Biba? You say a lot of smart stuff, and that's one of the smart things. So I understand. Like now I just got to
Shout out to Biba.
shout out to Biba Lauren Bell because that's my girl.
Biba has done both. I think she has. Yeah, Biba is on her. Like you got Earth and then you got Biba World. She be. I love it though, cause it's like she's so like insightful. And like when I was feeling really insecure about being in her class because her movement on me, I felt did not look right. Like I
Yeah,
was just like, when you know how we had, I don't know if y'all still had like those like midterm talks
we did.
meetings or like final meetings where you would talk to the teacher. Like I think it was our midterm one. And she was like, "So Siobhan, how do you feel?" And she had her little glasses on. And she was like, she was sitting with her legs crossed, and I was just sitting there like, Biba, I'm terrified. I don't know if you know that I'm terrified, but I mean, I don't really have a poker face, so I'm pretty sure you know that I'm terrified. And when I decided, like, once I became a dance major officially, because I was a minor,
Mhm.
I was in class with freshmen. At this point, I'm like a senior technically. I'm like in my fourth year. So I done been in this thing for a minute and I'm just looking around like, why are they getting this movement? And I'm looking around, looking.
Stuck. Stuck.
She like, go Shabbat, go. And I'm just like, I'm not even remembering the choreography that she gave us. I'm just all over the place. I'm like, Biba, I'm really struggling, but I'm trying. And she's just like, it's okay, Shabbat. Like, you're not as bad as you think you are. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I am because Bill's movement is like it looks so well on her.
It
And
does.
some people in the department look so well on. I think Imani is one of those people too. She's been in a lot of Biba reps, and I just be like, I don't.
Me, I just it just feels I can't. It just
It's like, what am I doing? What is my
Literally.
body
I'm like,
doing?
do my pinky toe go here or here? Like,
My body is used to look, first position, this is the position. Okay, these are the arms. Like I know. So Kyra, thank you for doing this with me.
thank you for having me.
I think the people need to know about the dance world just a little bit more, like from our perspective, and not just see it from like the
Yeah,
outside.
it's hard, y'all. It ain't
Hard
what
out
it looks
here being
like.
an artist, like it's hard figuring out what you want to do. Cause I had the same thing with Kyra as far as like, okay, I really don't want to do a company, but I felt myself like, okay, well, I'm good at ballet. And I mean, I had took a year off after I graduated. I was just teaching. And teaching, if you teaching kids for real, you basically took a year off. So so I got here and I auditioned for a company and he was just like, you don't have enough technique. And I was like, I was prepared to hear that. But
Okay.
the way that it was given to me was bold. I just didn't like I should look like this specific dancer.
Yeah.
And I did not like that at all. So I was like, yeah, it's a no. Like you just gotta get used to hearing no when you a dancer.
I definitely prepare for that all the time. I'm like, you know what? It's just gonna be bad.
Just go in there. You gotta get used to auditions.
I love auditions though.
You do? I
The
don't.
audition process, I love the audition process.
I think you the only dancer I ever heard say
It's it's a learning experience for me. Like,
it is a learning experience. I like the experience that I get from it. I don't like the process. Like I feel like it's so like I had to teach myself just because you see somebody stretching and they flexibility is crazy and they look like they finna kill it, don't mean they gonna kill it.
exactly.
And a lot of times in the dance industry, they looking for a specific look. It's not always about how well you can dance.
Yep.
Like it's so many different factors. So like when I got here, I was like, might as well just do a company knowing good and well. The way Siobhan is set up, don't like commitment either. Like I like to be free with what I want to do. So I kind of just went the freelance route, and Kyra is one of good sis, and I'm excited to see her journey. I have her Instagram in the corner so that y'all can check her out and support her. She does dance with Della, so I think that's an accomplishment in itself that you
Thank you.
got to work with her in college and out of college. So I look forward to seeing you on somebody's stage. Just let me know.
She a blessing. So if y'all want to dance and get to know her, I highly suggest it.
All right, so I will see y'all next week. Peace.